Today's episode of Mom's the Word is brought to you by Ollie and Belle, a local DFW-based pajama company.
What we like about their pajamas is they're sustainable, antimicrobial, and thermoregulating.
It also has a tremendous amount of stretch, so it lasts 3 times longer than traditional cotton clothing.
Something really cool is that all of their designs are exclusive from different artists around the world.
That means if you're an artist listening right now and you want a chance at showcasing your artwork on a clothing line, you should reach out to them.
Check them out. You can get pajamas for your whole family, the babies, including you and your husband. We have a discount code,
Welcome10, where you can get 10% off of your first order.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome
We're so
back.
happy to be here. I'm Cindy.
And I'm Paige.
And this is Mom's the Word, where Mom knows best.
Or at least she's trying her best.
She's trying her best always, you guys. I swear one day she's going to get that down.
One of these days. You know, I have it and then I don't.
You make it exciting for me because I'm like,
gone.
is she going to get it this time?
We've only done it 100
Actually,
times.
Ben behind the camera was like, you better. I'm just kidding. You guys, we make Ben sound mean and he's so nice.
He's
you guys.
so nice.
He's so kind.
He's not mean. He just yells at us a lot.
Well,
In a
yes,
kind way.
yes, in a kind way.
Just for y'all, though. Really, he's doing a service for y'all because he knows that you guys want to be able to hear us.
That's right.
So,
Anyways, welcome back, you guys. I cannot believe it. We're on 15. We're on 15.
1-5.
Cannot.
We're going to do another Q&A.
Yeah, so the first Q&A, we had so many questions, and there's such great ones that we wanted the episodes on that we're like, let's just keep answering some questions.
Yeah.
It gets you guys to know us better. We had a lot of guests. Now it's time for me and Paige to
Yeah. Sit back and do our thing.
sit back and do our thing.
Did you put new lip gloss on?
I sure did.
Your lip gloss is popping. Holy baloney.
That lip gloss
She's looking...
popping.
You are just slaying in here right now. Looking so fine.
I have to change something in between episodes.
You make me want my nose re-pierced.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people don't notice I have my septum until they're like really close on me because it's
Yeah.
like little.
Yeah, I love it about you.
Mhm.
Gives you a little edge.
I know.
Just to show.
I'm so edgy. And it was such a spur of the moment too. I'm like, I'm getting it done.
Did it hurt?
No, the septum is the easiest piercing I've ever had.
What was the hardest piercing you've ever done?
Nostril.
Really?
Oh my, it wouldn't heal for so long.
Oh my gosh, I pierced my own 3 times.
Oh no.
It's
No.
like
no.
went to Tractor Supply and bought like a
She's
hollow
wild.
needle.
If y'all
for,
haven't
like,
realized
rabbits or
lately,
something.
Paige been wilding out since she was 10.
It's 92. Okay.
Since 92.
It's 92.
No, it took me till 2020. I'm just kidding.
The worst. Oh.
When I had purple hair.
The worst piercing I ever had was my nipples.
Oh, I want to do that, but I only want one. And
They were
Chris,
so beautiful.
Chris thinks that's crazy.
Yeah, that is a little
I just
weird.
want one.
Yeah,
Ding,
I
ding, ding,
would-
one. Spin one around. Just one. Bing. Then the other one's normal.
No, they hurt so bad, but they were so beautiful. And I'll never forget, I had to have a tonsillectomy.
Okay.
I was 25. And the nurse came in and she was like, do you have any piercings? Because you have to remove them. And I was like, no. And my girlfriend at the time was like, yeah, you do. And I was like, what are you talking about? My mom was in the room.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I do actually. I have to take them out. And I just remember my stepmom going, where?
Oh, gosh. She was probably thinking down under.
Yeah. And I was like, I have my nipples pierced. It was the most painful thing ever, but they were beautiful. And
I heard they take a long time to heal. No?
Not that I can remember. You know, I've done a lot of weird
Do you wanna do
shit
it again?
since then. That's the only thing is that if I didn't have to go through that pain again, absolutely.
We can get one together.
No. Hold each
Best
other's
friend.
hands. For whatever
Best
reason.
friend nipple rings.
The second one hurts worse. Look, with the little, like the magnetic socks.
Yeah. We'll be next to each other, and all of a sudden, ding! Oh my god!
You know they
Oh my
make those for
God.
somebody. There's a
While we're
market
filming all
for
this
that. I'm so drawn to
Oh
you.
my god! What's going on there?
Let's
it's a
get
secret.
into these questions before we lose.
It's a
our minds.
secret.
I'm gonna ask Cindy this question
Okay.
directly because I'm not the one to answer this. Okay,
Tell me.
I'm not the one. Because I struggled with Boston
Okay.
until he was a good 3.5. Okay.
Okay.
How do I get my kids to start sleeping in their own bed?
Oh man.
Cindy
I'm the
has to
sleep
put kids
expert.
in their own beds because of foster care. They
Yeah.
do not get any option of co-sleep ever.
Yes. So she's correct. I had to learn real quickly that you ain't pulling no babies into your bed when
Right.
you're a foster parent. Now, obviously, they can chill in your bed, watch TV, have fun, cuddle.
Yeah, you
but
could
when it
snuggle,
comes to
but when
bed,
it's
oh
night-night
yeah,
time.
no beds only. And so, honestly, patience, number one.
Yeah.
And then, so for me with Bear, I moved him early, 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I still would pull him in to breastfeed at nighttime, but I was one of those parents. I sleep wild. And so I'm terrified of things happening. And so anyways, as I've gotten better at this, you guys, now that I've had a lot of kids, my best advice is to just keep putting them back. Keep putting them back in their room. Even if it takes all night, it's not going to last forever. It's going to last a week, maybe a week and a half, and they're going to get it. And sometimes you're sitting on the floor, tap, tap, tap until they fall asleep, and then you leave. Let's say they wake up 3 hours later. You're like, wow, you were in your bed for 3 hours. Let's go back in there over and over and over again. And you're going to get tired of it, but it's going to click. And they're just going to stay there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hard week.
Yeah. And now for the babies, so some of you moms who have babies, my biggest advice, if your baby's in your room in a bassinet or co-sleeping with you and you're ready for them to go, start with nap times. Start with their morning nap. Keep putting them in there. If they're crying, sit in there with them in their crib so they get to start smelling that crib. They wake up in there, lay them in there. They'll get used to it. Naps are first, and then you switch to bedtime. So now all babies I can have out of my room by like 5-6 months old.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It just, honestly, repetitive. That's all I can say. Yeah. That sounds easier than it is because your babies are going to be crying, you guys, and it's hard. But so just keep going in there supporting them. Don't just leave them when you're crying it out. It's sitting with them. This is your room. We love your room. It's safe in here. Right. Let me sing to you, repetitive. Book, song, bed, every time. So
Boston was great. We sleep trained. With Boston, we did sleep training, and he was great in his crib. Oh my God, it was so great. It was so nice because we have like these breaks and everything, and it was great. And then we switched him from the crib to the toddler bed, and then he could crawl out of the bed and come to our room, and that's whenever he started to kind of go sleep. And I say kind of because he would go to sleep in his room at like, the usual 8:30, and he would come in our room around 2 a.m.
Yes.
And so we would go back to the bedroom, and he'd wake up again around 6. And at 6 a.m., I'm giving up. You can snuggle me for the next hour.
Absolutely.
Like at that point, I just gave up. So, it's really hard. And that's one of the things that has so much anxiety around it too.
Yes.
There's a million different methods.
Oh yeah.
The only advice I can give you is to find a method that works for you as a mom and for your children, and to not give a crap what other people think or say, because they are not you and they're not your child. So that's and everything works for everybody.
Yeah. I was about to say that because although I have to keep putting my children back because they're children in foster care, do what's going to get you sleep too.
Yeah.
So like sleep on the floor next to them. If you really want them out of your room, girl, make a pallet and plan to be there for a few days.
Yeah.
But really, if whatever you can do to get you sleep. If you need to get them out of the room though, that's what it's going to be, putting them back. But if they climb into your bed, them are your little babies one time. So
right, only for once. I saw a couple online. I follow a couple, Julie and Camilla, online on TikTok, and they just had a baby, and they put their bed in the baby's room next to the crib, so that the baby will get used to that room, and then they'll just move their bed out of the baby's room whenever it's time, instead of moving him into a new room. And I thought that was so genius.
I mean, you're already going to be with your baby.
Literally.
Why
I was
not?
like, that's so smart.
And it's such a small part of their lives,
It really is a blink of an eye.
People always ask me, like, why are your kids such good sleepers? And that's why. Like Fox, like he couldn't sleep with me. That boy had been sleeping through the night since he was like 5 months.
Yeah, he's a great sleeper.
Whereas Bear, my first, that was rough, you guys. Really? Bear was rough. Oh, yeah. He did not sleep through the night till I think 18 months old.
Boston was just really hard with naps because he cut out naps at a very early age. Yeah. And I don't know if that's directly related to autism or what, but he was just like, so if he took a nap, he was awake until midnight.
Yes.
And so I was just like, well, forget it. We're not going to do this because we can't be up all night
long. They hit that age, though, that's really funny. Like, it's either, if you don't nap them, they're going to be terrible at like 5 to 7 p.m.
Right.
But if you do nap them, you're up till midnight. Yeah. It's no fun.
Yeah. That phase hits every parent. If you're going through that, it is.
And you just stick with your routine. For me, it's just stick with the routine. Okay, we'll lay in your bed for 4 hours.
What's your best bedtime routine?
Best bed depends on the age. I'm a 7:30 bedtime type of mom. Even Bear, my oldest, so my best bedtime routine is a bath, a book, a song, bedtime, lights out, quiet. It's like 15 to 20 minutes of in your room, no electronics, nothing, books.
Sound machine
on, blackout curtains
White
on.
noise?
White noise.
I'm a thunderstorm girl.
No, we're white noise. And this is for all my kids. This is a comfort to all of my kids. No, blackout curtains. Yep. And then even for Bear, so like I put the babies down between 7 and 7:30, both babies. I have a newborn. She's down. Bear is 7:30. We go into his room and we read a book. Like I read a chapter to him in a big book, and then he reads a chapter to me in his little chapter books, and then he's done. And then we don't come out anymore. Yeah, once you're old enough to know to stay in there, You can stay up all night if you want, as long as you're in your bedroom.
Yeah, Bear's older.
But yes. Routine, guys. Routine. It's hard, though. It's hard. You got more questions? I should pull up some questions, shouldn't I, y'all?
There's a lot of questions on here.
There are. Thank you guys so much. If you're not following us on Instagram, Mom's Lord Podcast, we would love to see you over there.
I think I answered this one on the last one a little bit, but it says, did you guys go to college and what for? I did go to college. I went to college. I went to a community college that's nearby where I grew up, and I got an associate's in applied science and an RDA, which is a registered dental assistant's license.
Nice. So I also did go to college. Out of high school, I got a scholarship to a community college for softball. I stayed there for 2 years, and I got transferred.
Did you know that Cindy played softball?
Yeah, did y'all know that?
College softball at that.
Softball, sure did. And then I transferred to a state college, Sacramento State University, and I have a degree in education with a minor in bio.
Would you ever want to be a teacher?
Yes, I was a teacher. So I was a kinder teacher for 4 years before I had Bear. I taught pre-K to kindergarten. Yes. And then I had Bear, and I thought, never mind. I won't be at home.
You think I've lived a lot of lives? I didn't know you were a teacher.
Nobody ever asked me. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
One of us was a teacher and the other one was a dancer. So, you know.
Yin yang.
We were on different sides of the fence at that point of life.
We were. That's okay.
That's all right.
Now we ended up together.
Not really. She's wilder than me.
What?
No, she's not. She's not.
Where? Which where?
In your high school years.
Is it because I tell you and Mark need to? That's probably why.
You just want me to have a lot more.
I think. No, I think that physical touch between you and your partner is very important. And when we have kids, we are touched out. We are tired. We are overwhelmed. We are overstimulated.
That was my thought.
And you don't want to do it. I know it's hard to, but sometimes it's nice to have your husband's touch, guys.
And I feel like if anybody else touches me, I'm going to crawl out of my skin.
I feel you, though. Sometimes I'm like that.
Get into the fetal position and cry.
No,
because I'm just so
I'm not saying
out.
every day. No, I'm not even saying every other day. But I'm just saying, like, Paige, when's the last time? Because, girl, you're stressed.
2 days ago. And the time before that was 4 days ago.
So she's good. She's good to go.
See?
She's on time.
That's why my mental health has been so good.
Exactly.
No, but it is an important thing. Moms, women, people listening. It is a very important thing for your body as much as it is your husband's or your partner's. I think that you should enjoy that type of pleasure with your partner at that point.
No, I agree. Because, being taken care of is also important for you to be taken care of in all aspects. Go on a date with your husband. Let him take care of you. And take care of each other. It's
one of the things in here that says, like, how do you reset? And I think that's a big part of your reset. Is you'll be like, if I'm really down, Cindy's like, go hang out with your husband.
Yeah, like Chris, like, he calms me so much, balances me so much, and I just really prioritize that part of my life, and I have to, because if I don't, he feels it, and I don't ever want him to feel that way. Like, I don't want it. So I just prioritize those things, and I want other women too.
It's
like,
healthy.
I don't want to push it on her, but I'm always like, hey, have you guys had time with each other? Because you're with your babies all day long, touching you all day long, and she can't put her baby down.
Ever.
So I'm like, put your baby down. Girl.
Ever. And she's in this phase right now, you guys, where she also hates her own bed. Like nap time, anytime. It's like, hold me. And I'm just, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. But it's also the 8-month sleep regression.
Yes.
Nobody tells you about sleep regressions when you have a baby.
Gosh.
Nobody warns you that they go through these
8,
things.
12, 18 months.
4 months. They go through this, what you call it?
Oh my God.
A leap is what they're called. They do have apps that you can look up, a developmental leap. And it's basically like, they're like completing different levels of life. And they are. Like they get to see, they can see further, they can hear more, they're more aware of things. Yes. And I think that's what Juliet is. She's about to crawl. She's getting up on her knees and doing the whole rocking situation. And so she's definitely going through a sleep regression. And a lot of people,
they're rough.
They're so rough, but there are apps that would like be like, hey, your baby's about to come
like
up on one.
On it.
They are. And so whenever she gets a little bit fussier, I'm like, let me check my app. And it's also kind of reassuring whenever the app does say like, oh, your baby's in a leap, and you're like,
and it'll literally be like, they're gonna be more cranky today.
Let me just comfort you a little bit. You're okay. And it's not more like, gosh, what is going on?
Yes.
It doesn't feel so confusing. It feels very reassuring. So check
they're
into
rough,
that.
You guys.
They're rough. Be healthy with your life, with your partner and your children. Get an app to tell you when they're gonna have meltdowns so that you don't have one.
I'm gonna jump in here because
tell us.
leaps when I was raising Henry, my ex-wife and I had split, so I was now a single parent of 3 kids,
and a dad
of he was an infant. There was a rough time, and Wonder Weeks is the app that I use to track his leaps, and it's exactly true. Your kid starts acting absolutely insane, and you have no idea why. And when you're a new mom or a new dad or anything, you're just like, oh my God, my child's dying. I've done something wrong. I shouldn't have done this. And the app is just like, chill. He can suddenly perceive beyond 15 feet. All of a sudden, he's going to be crazy. Yeah. And then you're just like, okay, it's going to be a rough week and a half. No big deal.
Yeah, and it's like,
and it's on point. It's wild.
It is. Hey, have we told you guys? Ben's expecting another baby.
Yes.
Actually, I don't know if they know Ben has a lot of kids.
Ben do having kids. Ben, do you want to talk about yourself for a second? Can
sure.
We ask Ben
tell us.
Sure.
Ben.
Ben, how many children do you have?
Okay, so I have 3 from my prior marriage. My wife has 2 from her prior marriage. So we're a blended family of 5, and we have another little baby on the way.
Yay.
Due in April. We haven't. I don't think we've publicly told people the gender yet, so I won't spoil that and get in trouble.
Just a baby.
I'm so glad I didn't say.
So we'll be a family of 8 with I think 11 chickens and 2 dogs and
they homeschool you.
And we homeschool. Yeah, we
got
do
a
homeschool.
whole farm over there.
We do have a whole farm.
I love it. And they
a coffee company.
Yeah, they're business driven.
Business owners.
Revolution Coffee Company.
Shout out Revolution.
Shout out Revolution Coffee Company.
I still haven't tried it.
I'm sorry. I need to bring some.
We should try it on here and tell them if it's good because we love coffee.
Yeah, we do love it. Moms need
we
good
do
coffee.
Love coffee, you guys.
We need a Mom's the Word blend. Make it double caffeinated.
Well, okay. Well,
did you say it double?
So first and foremost, we don't roast our own beans, okay? Because a lot of people roast their own beans, and I'm trying not to take this as a tangent. I apologize, Moms the Word listeners. There's a lot of people who start their companies, and you can get an ego in business, and I think ego is important, but a lot of people in coffee think they're going to be the ones to change the game. So we need to roast our own coffee, but they have no experience roasting coffee, so they make really bad coffee. They have like, oh, my buddy in Kenya is going to send me this. He's sending you good beans, but it's like somebody who gives you like an $85 Wagyu steak. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to ruin the steak.
Yeah.
So I order all of our coffee from Tweed in Dallas. My good friend Jonathan Aldrich is their head roaster, and he is a genius, and he makes the best, cleanest coffee I've ever had. And the only way that this company would ever roast coffee is if I could afford to pay Aldi what he's worth, bring him over, somehow seduce him to my side.
Can we choose a flavor from him?
Well,
Mom's the word flavor.
Can we pick something?
Cherry, vanilla.
We can make a syrup. Where we come in as the coffee companies, we're hand making our own syrup. So we can make, so we do like signature his and her mocktail drinks for our coffee carts when we do weddings. And so
the Paige and Cindy.
Oh my God!
I would do something with berries for y'all.
Always.
I do like berries and a little bit of hazelnut.
In my coffee.
Yeah, so we have like a blueberry syrup. Strawberry's really good.
Berries and cream.
Hazelnut, like blueberry or something. Cherry.
Hazelnut and cherry that'd be an interesting combo. But I'd pair hazelnut with like strawberry.
I'm gonna have to taste test these. We're gonna have a taste testing party.
Next time, I will bring. I will bring some.
We'll let you know.
Some coffee.
I'm so down.
Yes.
I'm so down. Well, thanks, Ben, for being part of our episode today.
I'm gonna withdraw back to the sound.
Okay.
We should have put a camera on him.
I know, you guys.
His face is turning so red.
Somebody wants to know how we're mentally doing.
Great. I'm actually feeling really good. I was not doing great before, and I'm feeling a lot better.
She has a pep in her step.
I do. Got a little hop to my jump. You know? I'm feeling better. I am. I wish that I could come on and be like, this was the magic potion, but it really just kind of felt like I needed to say it out loud. Mm-hmm. I needed to tell the people that I loved. And then I just needed to sit with it for a couple of weeks and feel it and digest it and just realize that a lot of it was my own feelings and the voices in my head saying things that weren't true, and that I just needed to get back into my routine, go outside a little bit more. I've been going places, even though I don't like to go places. I've been trying to go places. Mm-hmm. And just also, I've been a lot more focused on my family. I've started putting my phone down. And that was something I wouldn't do. I was so focused on, I need to respond to every message. I need to be there for everybody that needs me, that I started to not being there for myself. And that was really hard for me. So I started to do more things that I love. Like, I really love to play The Sims. I love it. I love to build Sims houses. I love to make people. If you've ever wronged me, you live in a house with no doors or windows, and I starve you.
Also
no,
read.
not really.
Also read. Don't listen to her. She's nice to her Sims.
I've never been mean to a
Don't
Sim.
quote her.
I can't. I'll be real with you. I can't be mean to one
You're
of my
too
Sims.
empathetic to be mean to a Sim.
No, if I watched one of them die, I would cry. I can't. I want to be one of those people, but I'm not. I make you all have babies and love life.
Exactly.
And happy,
See?
so whatever. But
she's been taking care of herself. See you guys.
And I'm reading again. I'm reading what's it called? I gotta look it up because there's 3 books and I'm such a dingaling. I was reading the 3rd book first, and thankfully one of my followers was like, "Oh my god, I love those books so much," and I was like, "Me too. I can't wait to read the other ones." And she was
I
like,
feel like I know what they're called, but I can't think of it right now.
You're on the last one, and I was like, I'm on the first one.
You started the last one first page.
Only like the first couple pages.
I cannot
and
with her.
then because I was like reading a new book and I'd posted it, and so I read like one chapter, and then thanks Cindy, and then she's trying to help me on my Amazon, and then I read like one chapter.
Y'all should see our what we've bought recently list.
Well, this is all Taylor. My best friend Taylor's also on my Amazon.
Oh, okay.
So we share a Prime account. The things we never got over, the things we hide from the light.
That's a good series. It's a good series.
I'm reading the very first one of that, which I believe is Things We Never Got Over, and I'm liking it. I was started with Colleen Hoover's Verity, and got a lot of messages.
I was afraid for her
immediately.
When I seen you post that, I was like,
I was liking it, and I had even read a few things that you were like, hey, this is going to really trigger you.
Yes.
And I'd read a few things and wasn't like feeling like super heavy about it, but just I had an alarming amount of messages, like within a day, probably 100 people saying, hey, I really think that this is not going to be good for your mental health. So I just took a step back, even though I felt like I could digest it and I felt like it was going to be okay, and it had been so far. I didn't want to put myself into a worse position. So I just started reading books that make me happy. I'm building Sims houses again. I'm putting my phone down an hour before bed. I'm either reading or playing Sims instead of editing and working and doing all the things. I'm just trying to check out and check in a little bit more, if you know what I mean. Like check out online and check in life. And it's been really nice for me, as well as I love Christmas. So
the holidays are here.
Mentally,
I'm doing okay. I struggle with anxiety a little bit, and it's just random and sporadic, and I had that the last couple of weeks, and it like consumes me a little bit, where I just need to like go lay down, take a nap, and it's out of nowhere. Like things will just pop up, and I'm just like anxious and nervous, and it's just such a weird thing. So I've struggled a little bit lately with that, but mentally I'm good too. I feel like I'm excited for the holidays. I'm excited for the new year to come.
You're going on a vacay.
I am going on a vacay.
Are you excited?
Yes.
She's going to Disney. I'm so
jealous.
Yes.
So people were like, y'all go to Disney World so much.
I've never been. One day I'm going to go.
So we just went in June, and now we're going again in January. So and when we went in June, Fox was too young to take to Disney World. I don't want germs around my babies.
I don't think y'all had adopted him.
We did
yet
not
either.
adopt Fox yet, but we would have taken him, but he was just too little, and Disney World's not the place for itty bitty babies. I think he was like 4 months old. He was little. Nonetheless, we are going in January with Fox. We're excited for that. It'll be his first time. He'll be over a year old. He'll be only 13 months, but we're excited for that because Bear was 13 months when we first took him to Disney World, and it was just so cute to see them walking. Will they remember it? Probably not, but it's more for me. It's a memory for my mind that I enjoy so much. I look back at Bear, and it's just exciting. But anyways.
I want to go to eat the food. That's why I want to go to everything, to fairs, to amusement parks. I genuinely, a baseball game. I love sports. I want the nachos though too. Like it's not the experience without the overpriced concession food. It's just, I need it. I crave it. I love garbage food like that. Like the, what you call it? It's not 7-Eleven, the Quick Trip. They have those buffalo chicken rollers.
Oh, I love those too. That's something we have in common. People hate those, and I'm always like, they're so good.
Oh my God, they're so good. I'll go grab those and a Arizona mango juice, and it just slaps. The best freaking snack ever. I introduced Vance to it, and he will like specifically ask me to go to the gas station.
I'm an Arizona lemon girl.
I've never had like the tea.
Yes, that's my favorite
I don't like
one.
lemon in my tea. So
Oh, really?
I don't drink like the Arnold Palmer's or even like a lemon wedge in my tea.
Okay.
It throws me off. I just want sweet tea. I don't like peach flavoring though, or even raspberry, except for that peach drink we had the other night at that Putch.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
That was so good.
We
had an adult peach tea, and that was delightful.
Yes.
But like a regular, like sitting down at Cracker Barrel, have a peach tea, that's too much for me. I just want a regular sweet tea.
I will drink a peach tea everywhere I go. Okay, guys, that's kind of my go-to, actually. Literally, a peach tea everywhere I go. That's my favorite type of tea.
Tastes like
peach tea. Peach is my favorite flavor. Is she judging me right now?
No,
like,
it's actually a joke.
You harshly judged me just now.
No. It's an inside joke from years ago, and nobody's gonna get it.
You can't just say an inside joke.
I know. My friend Ashley's gonna love that I said it though so much. So I did it for you, Ashley. I did it for you.
I cannot. So
just one time they had me taste something, and it was something peach, and all I said was,
love peach.
It tastes like peach. And they just thought it was hilarious.
Y'all.
I love her. I love you.
Okay, somebody wants to know the best tips for a soon-to-be stay-at-home mom. So this is great because when I became a stay-at-home mom a while ago, we had to make a lot of changes, a lot of cuts. Even now, we still make cuts. A lot of easy
financially.
Yeah, financially. A lot of things like that we just chose right away was just like cut cable. It was too much money. We were paying like $150. Goodbye. And then we started off with just Netflix, right? Like $10 a month.
We're doing that right now.
Yeah. We've cut the cord on everything. I stick to a budget every week. Everybody's budget is different, but I still have a budget every single week.
Same.
We hit Costco or Sam's Club every other week, and I know my budget each time. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower.
We're feeding from home too, though. Like, you're not eating out. You're budgeting in to feed them 3 meals a day at home.
Yes. Oh, exactly. And I believe we both do this. We eat at home most meals.
Yeah.
So we eat out on usually Saturday nights in our household, or if there's a day during the week where I'm exhausted, Chris is like, let's eat out. But I make dinner every single day. We make dinner at my house every single day.
Right, and you don't DoorDash.
And I do not DoorDash at all.
She didn't even know that DoorDash was open past 8 p.m.
No.
And I was like, yes, ma'am. DoorDash sometimes be open at 2 a.m.
I actually didn't try DoorDash until last year when a friend sent me a gift card. And that was the first time I had ever used it. And then I was like, ooh, for a while there, I was like, I love this.
It's so
And then Chris was like, oh, yeah, no. If you want a meal, it's like 3 times the price. So we're like, no, thank you. So a lot of meals at home is one like families can do. We definitely do. If you can go down to one car or a no payment car. For a while, we had one car. Chris would go to work when Bear was young. And I would be home and I would walk to places. Now, of course, we have 2 cars now. But that's another way.
Making the cuts. I think the financial stress is the hardest part as somebody who stays at home, because then you start to think like, well, I'm at home. Like, what can I do?
Yes.
To help.
So, and it's hard because some moms have a hard time with it because they get grief from other people, including their spouse. I was never felt that way. Chris is all 100% wanted me at home with my kids. He knew it was best for our family, which is so wonderful. But you have to cut things. You have to prioritize being a stay-at-home mom. That means letting things go, right? Your lifestyle kind of has to change. And as the years have gone on now, Bear's now almost 8 years old. Chris has gotten promotions and he has a great job now. And I'm very happy and I'm very fortunate. I make some money on TikTok. It ain't that much. It ain't as much as people think it is.
Holy baloney.
It's really not. They think you hit $1 million, you're making like $1 million. No, ma'am.
Or even a tenth of that. You're not making even a 20th of that. Like, it's not real.
No.
Maybe some people are, but not me.
Not me.
Not me.
So what are they doing?
Yeah. Who did they sign up with?
I prioritize being a stay-at-home mom. And so I'm very fortunate. My husband has a wonderful job, so I'm very thankful there. But small cuts here and there can really help, I think.
Helps the stress.
Yeah.
I think don't forget that you need to go outside.
Oh, gosh.
Because that's one thing that I can get really bad at, is that I like being at home. I enjoy being a homebody. I like being in my pajamas. I like being comfortable and in my own space where I know that I'm safe. However, that can be very detrimental to your mental health if you don't at least get up and go to the park, if you don't go to the grocery store, because there was a while there, especially during COVID, whenever we were quarantined, that was the first year that I was a stay-at-home mom. I was getting to know Boston. COVID was happening. I was ordering groceries to the house. We were like doing the grocery delivery instead of going anywhere. Yes, I was at home. And I got used to it.
Yes.
So then getting back out was kind of difficult, but it really has just kind of made things a little bit lighter for me. Breathing breathing in just some nice fresh air can be just so good for your mental health. So I think that find yourself a good friend that you can talk to as well, because being a stay-at-home mom can be very lonely during the day because everybody else is at work.
Yes.
So it was very important to me to have a stay-at-home mom, a friend that I could FaceTime sometimes to just shoot the shit and talk to, or just to be like, holy crap, today sucks, or what are you making for dinner today? You know, just to have somebody during the day where everybody else is conventionally at work and, you know, you're the burden to them because they've got things going on and you're at home and they think you don't have anything going on.
Can't call your husband all day.
Right. Can't call him, you know, I want to, but I can't.
Yes.
And as well as don't become so overwhelmed with the housework, because you can start to believe that being a stay-at-home mom means that you are the house cleaner. And while, of course, it comes with the territory of like, you're at home, don't like sit in your filth type situation, you're not the maid. Okay, like you're not meant to clean up just because you're a stay-at-home mom. Your husband should also be doing the same. And this goes vice versa. If he's a stay-at-home dad and you're a working mom, everybody needs to be contributing in that sense. Nobody is the sole cleaner. You know what I mean? And I think that can be very stressful, is if your partner thinks that because you're home all day, he or she is meant to walk into a clean, pristine house. That is so unrealistic, and you should not put that pressure on yourself, because your kids are going to mess it up. Your kids are going to mess it up while you're cooking dinner.
You could clean the whole house, and an hour later,
it's ruined.
It's going to be dirty again.
Because they're trying to entertain themselves while you're trying to do another task, and that's okay. It is okay to have a house that looks like it's lived in. You're making memories there. And
I agree.
I think that if your partner expects to come home to a hot dinner on the table, happy kids that are perfectly taken care of, and a house that is pristine, they are expecting the wrong things and unrealistic things, because I can do one of those, and I guarantee you every single time I'm going to pick that my kids are taken care of.
Yeah. It as a stay-at-home mom, it's like you're choosing. You're either choosing for a clean house and your kids are just, you know, not bathed for the day, or, you know, you're taking care of your babies and you know the babies are going to come first.
I only have so many hands.
Yes. Good. Getting out of the house is the huge one, though. And don't think you got to go spend money, right? Because I am queen of not, you know, staying home, but I'm at a different park. I've tried every park in our area. I'm at the library story time every week. They do crafts every week. I'm doing all of these free things.
Look that up. Your libraries, your local libraries, they do puppet shows and stuff for kids.
Yes.
And I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But
another thing that I like to do is like invest in one thing. So like the zoo membership, and then utilize it so much. I will get my money's worth out of that.
Get yourself a wagon.
Yeah.
And just go roll up through the zoo.
That's right, and stay all day. Get yourself a wagon, she said. Wagon. Oh my goodness.
Ooh-wee.
How do you make adult friends, y'all? I don't know.
People are shady. Yeah. So it can be very difficult, but you just have to find somebody that speaks to your soul. I think that everybody I think is a decent judge of character. Whenever they get around people, I think that you can feel the vibe, you can feel the energy from things. And if you feel like you're forcing it, or like you have to ask for something out of your friendship that isn't just naturally there, then maybe there's just somebody else out there that's meant to take that position. Like, you can still be friends with somebody and not have them as like one of your closest best friends, because there are plenty of people that I enjoy but I don't connect with on a deeper level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think so. At the beginning of this year, 2023, I made it a point, and I even told my husband this, that I'm making friends this year. Like, that sounds so silly, but I was alone last year. And I had friends, but nobody who lived here. I want a friend local. I have a ton of internet friends for days, right? But I needed somebody here. And I told Chris, I'm going to say yes to people. And it took me saying that, because I would say no to everybody. I'm like, no, my kids are hard. I'm stressed out that they're going to throw a tantrum. I would say no. So I made it a point to make it a part of me. You're going to say yes. And even if you're there for a little while, you're still going to go. So like this next year, I encourage you moms, and it's silly to set a New Year's resolution, but encourage you to say yes more to people. Yeah. But also put yourself out there. When you're at library story time and someone else's kids laughing with yours, oh my God, our kids are laughing. Talk to them.
Shoot your shot.
Join a mom's group, not online. We've learned this already. A local one. And find someone who relates to you. It's scary, but that's how I found friends. And I don't have a lot of in-person friends, but I'm trying my best to do so. And you got to put yourself out there, you guys. That's scary. It's scary to do that, but you got to go. If you want friends, how are you going to go meet them if you don't go nowhere?
Yeah, so that's true.
Get out the house. I make Paige get out the house.
She does. She does.
But again, it's hard. And also for your husbands, because like I feel like I need to meet a mom friend who has a husband that's cool. That's why I like Mark's cool.
Chris and Mark are fun together. Yeah. They're a good time.
They are.
Okay, let me see here.
Okay.
There's so many good questions that it's actually kind of hard to choose.
I know.
There's just so much that we can also talk about. And I feel like all of these questions have a spin-off into something deeper too.
Yes.
Y'all asked some real great questions.
Yes, you really do.
How are y'all doing is what I want to know.
I know.
You doing okay? If you need anybody, can y'all reach out? Because we don't want y'all to feel alone either.
No, we do not. And if you have advice for like meeting friends below, let us know.
Heck yeah. Comment on, we'll post a little post too and comment on there if you need a friend online, you're looking for somebody.
Well, that's like a lot of people. How do you make mom friends? This question's a lot, you guys.
Yeah, like we could have a little community of our own. All of our Moms the Word.
I think we've talked about this, but they're saying, how did Moms the Word come to be? So if you missed that first Q&A page, how did Moms the Word come to be?
So it's a popular saying, Mum's the Word. It's a very popular saying about, but it means like to be silenced and such. And I think that one of the things that we felt like as moms is that a lot of the times, or maybe in the earlier generations before us, they were silent on the struggles of motherhood and what it was like. And really it was kind of all smoke and waters of rainbows and unicorns and happy tears and love for your kids.
And masking.
Right. And while it is all of those things, it is also anxiety and fear and emotions and tantrums and milestones and scary moments. And yes, and it's just so much. And so I think that we wanted a space for people to not feel silenced in their journey. And it just kind of felt like it flowed.
Yeah, we would have conversations with each other that were like, why aren't we sharing this with other people? Like she would talk about things in her life and I'm like, man, people need to hear that. Or like I would be there for her and it just worked out that way. And I would share wisdom that I've had from being a mom to so many kids. And we're like, why aren't we sharing this part of us? Right. And we thought, how could we do that together? And then we said, let's do a podcast together. And we just jumped right in both feet.
Yeah, we literally were like, okay, let's do this.
We literally like put a calendar down. We're like, okay, so in July we're gonna take pictures. In August and in September we're gonna launch. Like that's how quickly. Like she contacted Ben and his wife like that day we were talking. Like, hey, what do you guys think about a podcast? And Ben was like, yes.
Ben was so supportive.
Yes, he was.
Number one fan.
That's what made it really easy too.
Yeah,
it's because Ben was super supportive with our podcast because people could think it's silly. It's not silly.
Oh,
what?
My gosh, the question I just read.
Okay.
My mother-in-law gave my newborn daughter a nickname, Natty Light. How do I tell her to stop? That's a beer, by the way. Natty Light is a beer.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was laughing because I was like, oh, like, I didn't know it was a beer. I thought like her name was like Natalie. Like, I don't know.
Maybe.
Don't listen to me. A Natty Light beer.
Yeah.
Those are those cheap beers.
Yeah, they're cheap.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, no.
That's, yeah. Okay, so this is going to be difficult.
Oh.
Part of me feels like maybe it's your husband's responsibility.
I was about to say that.
Because the mother-in-law situation can be very sticky whenever it comes to a husband's mama. Especially if they have a real tight relationship. You don't want to offend her. You're not trying to be overbearing. But it can be uncomfortable and a little offensive. And, you know, you don't want that to be your daughter's nickname growing up. And so maybe he just needs to find a respectful way to say, hey, you know, I noticed that you call her this sometimes.
But we want to call her this.
Yeah, we think that we should just call her this instead because we don't really like that one. Yeah. And see, maybe hopefully she's respectful. And if not, then maybe you understand that there's going to be some boundaries you need to put forward in the future.
And he could even be like, you know, I don't want her compared to the Natty Light beer. Maybe you don't mean it that way. Yeah. But like, I don't want her to have that.
Right, know? Approach it with kindness instead of attitude. That's always the best way to go about things, is to try to approach it with the perception that they did not mean to offend you. Because it's not always, you know, their intentions.
Thank you guys for the questions.
Yeah, thank you so much for submitting questions, you guys.
Yes.
Oh, we know that it takes time and effort to send us something, and we appreciate you.
We really do. Anyways, you guys keep those giggles going.
And the love flowing.
And until next time,
Mom knows best.
Or at least,
she's trying her best.
Bye.